Alright guys, on today's video, we are going to be talking about Drew Brees and not just about him, but what his retirement means for the Saints. So he retires. They did re-sign Jameis Winston. They did sign a weird contract with Taysom Hill, which was pretty weird to see a 4-year, $140 million deal for him. But the wording's all weird. They placed all that money. So it just freed up some money on the front end for them. And he's not really getting paid that much. So they were able to retain those two quarterbacks. It seems like they're going to be running a 2 QB offense next year. Maybe Taysom Hill gets a series, Jameis gets a series. I don't know how they're doing this, but we kind of have to talk about this offense in a whole. They did lose Jared Cook to the Chargers. They let Emmanuel Sanders go. So that really leaves them weapon-wise with Mike Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Now, Mike Thomas, you can slide all of your protection or all your coverage now to him because there's not another receiver on the field to kind of take away that pressure. And then you have Alvin Kamara with, no Drew Brees to throw him the ball. We saw a huge drop off when Taysom Hill was quarterback those 4 games. He had a terrible 4-game stretch for the Saints. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm going to have to take these guys down a peg in my personal rankings. Last year, Thomas was a high-end wide receiver 1. I don't really see that anymore. He's still going to be a wide receiver 1, but I think it's going to be more in that 10 through 12 range. He's definitely going to get jumped by a couple people. I even like scary Terry McLaurin with the addition of Fitzpatrick in Washington. Fitzpatrick loves to throw the ball, and he will throw it and throw it and throw it. And if you throw 7 interceptions, guess what? He's coming back next play and throwing it some more. So you kind of have to take Mike Thomas down a couple notches. He's no longer going to be a top 3 guy or a top 4 guy. He's going to be outside of that top 10. He's going to live in that probably 11 to 16, 11 to 20 range. I don't have a lot of confidence. Yes, he's a baller. Yes, he can catch everything. It's just Jameis threw 30 picks, but he did throw 30 touchdowns, but he had 2 awesome receivers to throw to and 17 billion tight ends down there in Tampa Bay. Taysom Hill still has not really developed well as a quarterback, as a thrower. He still wants to pull the ball and run. That's why we saw Kamara suffer in those 4 games. So you're definitely going to have to take those guys down a peg. Kamara will probably be a back-end 1 to a high-end 2 running back. He can still catch the ball. That's why I'm still going to believe he's going to be in that running back 1 conversation. He's just not going to be in the top 5 of those guys. So really, with Drew Brees retiring, you kind of have to take that whole Saints offensive core and knock everybody down a peg, especially since they lost Jared Cook. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. There's really nobody else outside of those 2 guys that are going to be fantasy relevant, not even the tight end in whatever his name is. I believe his last name is Hill. You just can't really rely on anybody else other than Thomas and Kamara, and they're both going to be taking a step back this year with Drew Brees retiring. So just be cautious if you guys are drafting those guys this year in the first couple rounds, because that's where they're going to go. Probably round 1 or 2 is going to be my best guess for those guys, just depending on how your league is, keeper or no keepers. So that'll be it for the Saints breakdown. We will get back to you guys with another breakdown video here in the near future. Later.